So, Danielle got that promotion, huh? Goodness me. I had no idea that companies these days went around giving promotions to women like her. I suppose they mustn't have any other talented people if they chose her for the promotion above everyone else. Mom, don't say anything about this to Dad. He already got mad at me once today. What did he get mad at you about this time, huh? He already said that he would leave the company to you, but he's always getting angry at you about something. It feels like there's something new for him to get angry about every single day. Do you know what he said to me today, Mom? He said that I need to clean my act up before he decides to give the company to Danielle instead of me. Mom, are you sure that Dad is my biological father? Because if he is, then I don't know how he can say these kinds of things to me. Did you mention the fact that Danielle got promoted to him? It just came out. Oh dear. Well, you only have yourself to blame there, I'm afraid. You know full well what your father is like. Why couldn't you just keep your mouth shut? Well, he asked me what her job title was, so I had no choice but to tell him, did I? So I'm guessing he went on to ask when you're getting promoted, right? I really don't know how he can be so cruel to you when he already said that he would be leaving you the company. I also don't know why he's making you suffer by starting at the bottom when you're going to become the boss one day anyway. And why on earth he feels the need to constantly compare you to your wife, I really don't know. I've put so much effort into getting Dad's recognition, but it seems to have all been for nothing. I need him to hand me over the company, no matter what. But it's just so difficult. I'm finding it so hard to win his approval. Stop acting so weak. You call yourself a man. You better not be going around showing those kinds of weaknesses in front of your father, okay? I know that things are hard for you, and it really upsets me to see you suffer like this, but there isn't really much I can do to help you. To be honest, I really feel like your dad's attitude is a huge joke. Wait, what? Why would you say that? Well, he always said that he thought a woman's place was in the home, and he found it inappropriate for a woman to be running around working outside. So much so that he wouldn't even talk to me about things outside the domestic sphere. And yet, your wife is still going to work without a care in the world, and he hasn't said anything about it to her. I really don't understand why he suddenly changed his attitude. Come to think of it, it is a little strange that he takes interest in her work to the extent that he asks about her job title and responsibilities. Do you think he really is considering giving the company to her instead of me? And that's why he hasn't said anything about her not quitting to become a full-time housewife? If that really is the case, then what should we do? Don't worry, I will do my utmost to ensure that the company goes to you. You just make sure to hang on his every word and do whatever he tells you to do, okay? I can always count on you to be on my side when nobody else will be. Thank you so much, Mom. Well, of course I need to be looking out for my precious son. Just trust me, okay? I'll make sure everything goes smoothly for you, so you just focus on doing your work well for now. Okay, thank you, Mom. As for your wife, we just need her to get pregnant, and then she'll have to quit her job to become a stay-at-home mom. Hopefully, she'll have 3 or 4, and then your father will be so preoccupied with his grandchildren that he'll forget all about the fact that his daughter-in-law was once a capable worker he considered leaving his company to. And if you manage to have sons, your father will be so overjoyed that he'll be all the more willing to give you the company. We'll be able to naturally push your wife out of the picture and into her rightful place in the home. But to be honest, when it comes to my wife, nothing you seem to do seems to work with her. You keep trying to get her to help you with domestic tasks, but she's always working late or says she's busy or she's tired from work, and she just won't do it without even batting an eyelid. You're right. It's like she's made of iron. She's impossible to crack. Still, I'll do my best to try and find a way to make sure she ends up conforming and becoming a housewife. As for you, you just need to hurry up and get her pregnant as soon as possible. Okay, Mom. I'll try my best. So, we're in this together, yes? Yes. Let's see how well she withstands our attacks this time. Why did you call me over here today, Prudence? Why else would I have called you over? It's because I have something to say to you. Did you think I would just ask you to come for no reason, just because I was bored or something? Believe me, you're the last person I would call if that were the case. Come and take a seat. Okay, thank you. I also have something I want to talk about with you as well, so I suppose this is good timing. Honestly, from the moment you come in, you start taking a tone with me that I do not appreciate. You called my company, didn't you, Prudence? Yes, I did. And do you not think you went a little too far by doing that? Were you that upset by the fact that I got promoted at work? As if being rude to my face about it wasn't enough. What gives you the right to call my company and ask them to cancel my promotion? Well, you're going to quit your job eventually, so what's the point in getting a promotion? It really doesn't mean anything, does it? So I told them that they would be better off giving someone else the promotion. I really don't see what's so wrong with that. And what exactly do you expect me to do if I quit my job to become a full-time housewife? Well, what else? You'll have babies, look after your babies, and take care of your husband. And you'll make sure that my needs and your father-in-law's needs are met as well. And of course, you'll make sure to honor our family's traditions. What makes you think you aren't going to have anything to do? Well, of course that's what you would want from me. I don't know why I expected anything else from you. Since you're here, I might as well ask you. When exactly are you planning to quit that job of yours and finally come and fulfill your duty? Well, I don't have any plans to quit my job anytime soon. I'll keep working until I decide I don't want to anymore, and I have no idea when that might be. The fact that I got a promotion not too long ago is even more of a reason for me to stay working there, don't you agree? There really is no good reason for me to quit this job. What do you mean, no good reason? Do you have any idea what kind of family you've married into? Well, I suppose you're going to tell me anyway, even if I don't ask. My son is the only male heir for 4 generations. Well, I already knew that. Why is that such a big deal? This is the 21st century. Why would you still insist on being so stubborn if you knew about this all along? Excuse me? Do you not feel sorry for the other women in this family when you see them around? Honestly, I hope you conduct yourself a little better at work than you do at home. Talking to you just makes me frustrated, so I can't be bothered anymore. I can hear the sound of my life dwindling away. I don't know why you still act so clueless when I've explained how things are to you several times over now. Since you've married into a family that only had 1 male heir in the last 4 generations, your duty isn't to go out and earn money. It's to look after the house and make sure your husband is happy and comfortable. There she goes again, saying my duty is to be a docile little homemaker. Prudence, do you not get tired of saying the same things over and over again? It's obvious what she's going to say next. She's going to ask me when I'm going to give her a grandson. And when exactly are you planning on giving me a grandson? Have you not noticed that everyone in the family is waiting on you with bated breath? Because of you, I'm constantly on edge about what remarks they might make. You never do as I tell you, and you always just do the exact opposite of what I would want you to do instead. I don't know how your mother educated you when you were growing up, but she was clearly fine with letting her one and only daughter become unruly and disobedient. She should have made sure to correct your behavior before she let you get married. I really shouldn't have to be spending time educating my daughter-in-law on how to go about at my age. Prudence, women don't necessarily have to stay in the home and become mothers and housewives anymore. Times have changed. It's been a long time since the social norm was for men to be the only one that needs to go out to work and provide financially for their families. You really are stuck in the past, aren't you? You need to get with the times and change your way of thinking. Though I suppose there are still quite a few old people who hold these traditional values. This attitude from the older generation is exactly why so many young people are getting put off the idea of marriage. Too much effort is required for someone who matches the standards of someone like you who lives in the past. I think it's only natural that the more time I spend with you, listening to your outdated ramblings, the less I want to become the daughter-in-law you want. If you just stay at home all day long, not going out into the world, you end up becoming ignorant to the world's changes. What did you just say? How dare you talk to me like that? You're saying I'm ignorant. Well, it's obvious that you're just lashing out at me because you got upset about all the home truths I was delivering to you. I think it's unfair for you to say that I never lived up to your expectations for your daughter-in-law. When I first married your son, I really did try my hardest to do as you asked. But you were always coming down on me like a ton of bricks for every tiny mistake. And I felt like you were the cat and I was the mouse in a game of chase that I could never really win. There wasn't a day that I didn't cry into my pillow at night because of you, you know. My husband, if you can even call him that, never took my side and would be just as awful to me as you, as if the two of you were ganging up on me. Your husband has never thought of me as anything other than a robot that gives him food, and so the only place I could find solace, the only place I felt valued, was at work. I decided to pour my everything into my work and finally achieved that promotion. That promotion isn't nothing, you know. It's the fruit of my labor, the result of my blood, sweat, and tears. I'm not going to be your sacrificial lamb, dragged to the altar just because your husband is desperate for a grandson to carry on the family line or whatever. The nice, docile girl who tried to do what you wanted at the start of our marriage is long gone, so don't get your hopes up. Oh dear, poor you. Everything is so unfair, isn't it? If you feel that hard done by, how can you even bear to live with my son? I just look out for myself and make that my priority. And yet I still sit here and put up with my mother-in-law's constant complaining. Who do you think you are? What gives you the right to talk to me like that? Is there any real reason why I can't talk to you however I want, other than the fact you're much older than me? We're both humans here at the end of the day, and if you want me to treat you well, then you should be nice to me in return. If you're nasty to me all the time, it's just going to make me want to be nasty back to you. Interpersonal relationships are two-way streets, you know. It can't just be all take and no give. There needs to be a little of both from both sides in order for people to have functioning relationships with one another. If you keep acting like this, nobody is going to come and pay their respects to you when you finally pop your clogs, are they? That would be a very sad and lonely fate indeed, don't you think? Excuse me! Did you really just say what I think you just said? Not only did you seem to find the idea of me dying amusing, you insinuated that nobody would come to my funeral. Are you completely out of your mind? Never in my life did I think I would end up with such an awful daughter-in-law who laughs at the thought of her mother-in-law's funeral. I'm sick of you and I don't even want to look at your face anymore. Get out of my house already! Yes, as you wish. Oh my goodness, I can't help but be enraged by this insolent girl. You really are infuriating. Make sure you leave all the doors and windows open when you leave. I'm boiling hot because of how angry I am with you. Yes, of course. Hey! I told you to leave the doors and windows open! How dare you deliberately go out of your way to close them all? Can you at least turn the fan back on? Oh, she's so irritating. I don't know what I'm going to do with her. Honey, remember that we're going to my parents' house to commemorate the anniversary of my grandfather's passing. Remember that death anniversaries are very important in my family. It feels like it wasn't that long since we went to the last death anniversary commemoration dinner. My mom does keep reminding you that we have 6 death anniversaries that we celebrate annually. Why do you keep forgetting? I feel like you should have memorized them all by now. How am I supposed to memorize all of those? I can't even remember when your parents' birthdays are, let alone remember your grandparents' death anniversaries. How on earth did you manage to get promoted when you're so forgetful? What did you just say? Oh, nothing. Anyway, my grandfather's death anniversary is next Tuesday. My mom knew that you wouldn't have remembered, so she called me to make sure to remind you. Next Tuesday? I won't be able to come. Why won't you be able to come? I'm working late that day. What? But you made the same excuse last time. You said you were working overtime, showed up really late, and my mom went ballistic. Do you not remember? What am I supposed to do? Work has to come first, you know. Can't you change it to another day? Why do you have to do overtime specifically on that day? Did you volunteer to do it next Tuesday on purpose so that you could avoid going to my parents' house? Are you kidding me? I don't even know when all these death anniversaries are, so how could I have deliberately decided to work overtime to avoid one? But my mom told me to make sure that you definitely wouldn't be late this time. If you're late, my dad will just take his anger out on me. Are you really asking me to not do my overtime and come to your family ritual just because you're scared of getting told off by your dad? No matter what, I'm not going to be able to change your overtime schedule, so you're going to have to explain that to your parents. Is there really no way around this? My dad is giving me a hard time practically every day at work, and he treats me like I'm a piece of dirt. If you insist on not showing up on time, he's going to just get mad at me at home, and I won't have even done anything wrong. Well, you obviously need to try harder at work if he's getting mad at you on a regular basis. He's obviously getting frustrated because he feels like he can't trust you to do things well. Get some credibility. Then things might improve between you. Also, I really don't know what the big deal is about me missing one of these death anniversary gatherings. After all, you do 6 of them a year. Well, it's a big deal to me. You might not care, but I really don't want my dad to get mad at me again. Why are you yelling? You're going to wake the neighbors. I'm yelling because you're being so frustrating. I think I finally understand what my mom means when she says talking to you is like talking to a brick wall. Oh, so your mom badmouths me to you, huh? Oh, it's fine. It doesn't bother me. I'll try my best to be there as quickly as I can, but I can't promise anything. Now, what time do you call this? Have you still not finished? It's almost 11 p.m. What are you all still doing awake at this time? Well, what else would we be doing? We're waiting for you. My husband said he wouldn't start the memorial ceremony until you arrived, so we've been waiting and waiting for hours. Why didn't you pick up any of our calls? Oh, I didn't have enough battery left, so I just put it in my bag, and I guess it must have died eventually. But did you not say anything to your parents about the fact that I had to work late today? This is really not the time for you two to be fighting. Do you not see that the two of us are standing here waiting for you? Hurry up and get changed out of your work clothes. The whole thing has been pushed back because of you. I really don't like to push things back, you know. This is the first time I've ever pushed back a family event, and I am not happy about it. What has happened to this family? Honey, hurry up and come inside. I really think you should stop drinking now, dear. Now that Danielle is here, we can get started. Hurry up, Danielle. Go on and get changed. What are you doing standing around doing nothing? You should be apologizing for being late and getting a move on. Will you just be quiet already? You're the most annoying of all. But I was just... Well, I suppose I will go and change my clothes then. I really don't know why your father only gets angry at you in these situations. He doesn't seem to like the fact that Danielle is working either, so why didn't he say anything to her about being late? I've also never seen him like this before. At work, he's always screaming and shouting and fussing about something. I don't know why he's so level-headed when it comes to Danielle. Maybe he really is trying to give her the company behind our backs. Maybe they've talked about it already. Honestly, I don't know why she has to be so rude and inconsiderate all the time. We waited for her for hours, and now she's making us wait even longer while she goes and has an entire shower. Does she not think the rest of us want to have showers as well? But we didn't because we were all waiting for her. Honey, come over here a second. What is it? Can't you just quit your job already? Don't start this again. Hey, if all your family wanted so much, you should just give in and stop being stubborn about it. How could you be so selfish? I really don't get why you're so upset at me over this. Surely it's better to be a double-income household. If only one of us is earning, we're not going to be able to afford to raise a child. Giving kids a decent upbringing these days is really expensive. Well, there's no need to worry about money. As long as you give him a grandson, your father-in-law will make sure all the costs of childcare are covered, and he'll cover any extra household costs that can't be covered on your husband's salary alone. I really don't know why you won't just quit. This is all just because of your greed, so don't start saying it's because of anything else. Please, can you just do as my mom says? I'm sick to death of walking on eggshells around my dad. By the way, speaking of my dad, has he ever contacted you outside of the family group chat? Yes, he has. Why do you ask? Wait, he has? And what exactly is it that the two of you have to talk about in private? Has he ever mentioned the company to you during one of these conversations? Yes, as a matter of fact, he has. Mom, what are we supposed to do now? It really does look like Dad is planning to hand the company over to Danielle. Don't you worry, son. I will find a way around this. Just you wait. I'll make sure to put her in her place. What are the two of you whispering about? Oh, it's nothing, really. Are you not tired? Why don't you go and get some sleep? Yes, I think I will. Then I guess I'll also head to bed as well then, Mom. Let's talk again tomorrow. Okay. Good night. Honey, where are you right now? I'm at work, of course. My dad and I have had to go to the next town on business. Would you be able to go and look after my mom? Why? Did something happen to her? Yeah, she fell down the stairs and has even had to have a cast put on both her arm and her leg. She's already back at home, apparently, but I'm really worried about her. Really? Is she hurt really badly? In that case, why doesn't she just stay in the hospital a little longer? She says she hates the hospital and she would rather be in the comfort of her own home. But still, I'm not sure if she's going to be okay. Okay, I'll take an emergency afternoon off and head over to her as soon as I possibly can. Thank you so much. La 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 la. Prudence, are you there? I'm in so much pain. I think I might be dying. Are you in a lot of pain? Can you not see that both my arm and my leg are in a cast right now? How can you ask me such a ridiculous question like, are you in a lot of pain? Of course I am. If you're in that much pain, we should get you back to the hospital. You will recover much quicker with doctors and nurses on hand. I don't want to. Did my son not tell you how I feel about hospitals? They're so suffocating. Just being in one feels like a death sentence. I feel like if I stayed there a minute longer, I would have ended up getting worse and not better. But you can't be at home all by yourself in this state. Everyone is at work during the day and nobody would be available to look after you. Why would there be nobody to look after me? You're here, aren't you? Excuse me? You can just quit your job and come and look after me. Is your work really that important when your mother-in-law is so terribly injured? All they do is make you do overtime every week anyway. Why don't you just quit your job and come and look after me full-time? Prudence? What is it? Did you really hurt yourself? What did you just say? Are you doubting my integrity? Are you being suspicious of me right now? Do you really think that I would deliberately throw myself down the stairs and end up with both an arm and a leg in a cast just to get you to quit your job? Oh no, I don't think you would go that far. But I wouldn't put it past you to have put some fake casts on. 5 minutes ago, you said you thought you might die from the pain. But when you started talking about making me quit my job, you were suspiciously animated. Well, I'm just holding in the pain. I didn't want to be a decrepit old lady lying in bed, constantly complaining to my daughter-in-law about how this hurts or that hurts. I just didn't want you to fuss over me. That's all. Honestly, you don't know how to be considerate at all. Well, if you really are hurt, I am sorry. But, Prudence… What is it now? I won't be quitting my job. What? I only just got promoted, and I have lots of responsibilities. I'm very busy, you know. And getting a place in this company was my goal for years. I'm not going to give up on it so easily just because you want me to. I'll make sure to find someone to take care of you whilst you recover. Don't you worry. Wait a second. So you're telling me you're going to bring a stranger into my house to touch all of my stuff and for me to be at the mercy of? I won't have that. Don't waste your time and money hiring someone and just do it yourself. How exactly do you expect me to do it? I told you, just quit your job already. I don't want to. Are you really going to be this stubborn? If all you're going to do is talk about me quitting my job, I'm going to leave. I ended up taking a precious afternoon off because of you, and it seems to have been wasted. Okay, fine. I'll stop asking you to quit your job. But instead, whenever I call you, you need to come here within 10 minutes. What are you talking about? These days, I don't finish work until really late because we have so much to do. That's a condition that I absolutely will not be able to meet. So I absolutely will not be doing that. Well, if you quit your job, then you would be able to meet that condition. Anyway, I'll take it that we've reached an agreement on this. You can get going now. And so that's how I involuntarily ended up being the one to care for my mother-in-law after she fell down the stairs and hurt herself. My husband and father-in-law said that something had come up at their company and they weren't able to focus on anything else. And that's why my husband begged me to do it. Knowing my mother-in-law, I did doubt the credibility of her injury, but I still worried about her and took care of her nonetheless. But juggling looking after her with my work became quite taxing after 2 months, and I found myself getting more and more exhausted. I ended up collapsing from stress at work, and they took me away in an ambulance and had to put me on an IV drip for a while. Things all came to a head when one time I was heading to my in-laws' house at a time I wouldn't usually go, and I saw something that made my jaw drop to the floor. Prudence, is that you? I always feel like I'm able to reach some kind of catharsis after bad-mouthing my daughter-in-law. It sounds like I can even hear her voice, though. I suppose I must be hearing things. Let's have another drink. Prudence, isn't that your daughter-in-law standing over there, though? What do you mean? Prudence, what on earth are you doing here? How can somebody with a cast on both legs and on her arm have come all the way out here to drink alcohol with a friend? What are you doing here at this time? You first. Explain to me what on earth is going on here. Oh, because she was feeling trapped at home all by herself, we brought her out here. I want to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. Prudence, did your friends really help you get all the way out here? Yes, they did. My friends wanted to help me out a little since you weren't around. Is there really anything wrong with wanting to go outside and get some fresh air? When I asked you to quit your job and be my full-time carer, you flat out refused. And now I'm guessing you've changed your mind. Oh no, of course I haven't. You clearly have so many people around who are willing to help you out. It looks like there's not really a need for me anymore, is there? What? So I won't be coming to look after you anymore, okay? That works out well for me, because taking time off work and having to pay for taxis all the time was starting to get really annoying. Thank you so much to all of you for taking care of her. I hope you can continue to do so until she has made a full recovery. Oh dear, it's time for me to go and pick up my grandson. See you later, Prudence. Hey, where are you going? You can't just leave like that. You should at least finish your drink first. Prudence? This is all because of you. I just wanted to get some fresh air for the first time in a while. How dare you come and ruin my fun? Oh, it looks like you're perfectly capable of standing, even with those casts on. What do you mean? Oh, goodness, it slipped my mind. Wow, you really are a piece of work. So you really would stoop this low to try and get me to quit my job, huh? Okay, fine. Yes, that is exactly what I did. I thought that if I just kept this up, you would finally give up and quit your job. Is your work really more important to you than your mother-in-law's well-being? I've never met such a heartless girl in my entire life. You're no better than a snake in the grass, you are. And I've never met someone as importunate as you. If you keep putting all this pressure on me, I might end up so stressed that I'll never be able to give birth to that grandson you want so much. I really think you should stop this whole thing now. Don't you agree? If you really want to carry on living your life this way, just hurry up and end things with my son already. Huh? Do you not want to do that? If you don't want to get divorced, then you'd better do as I say. If you don't want the stigma of being a divorcee at such a young age, you'd better know what's best for you and conform already. It's in your best interest to just do as I say. Do you understand? Well, whether I get divorced or not is between me and my husband. It's nothing to do with you. Excuse me. Anyway, I'm busy with work, so I'd better get going. Please don't call me over to look after you again. After all, you were never even injured in the first place, were you? I really can't believe you. Did you really drink all of that wine that was on the counter? That was supposed to be drank as a toast to the soul of my dearly departed mother-in-law. Prudence, look! This guy is spinning round and round. Honey, please, pull yourself together. My dad will be here soon. If he sees you like this, I'm going to be the one getting punished for it. Oh, this is such a joke. Eli, darling, why don't you take Danielle outside and get a little breath of fresh air? We need to make sure she sobers up before your father gets here.
Is everything in order? Mom, it's too late. He's here already.
Oh, hi, Philip. It's so nice to see you.
What's going on here? How much has she had to drink?
Well, the thing is, she seems to have drunk all the wine we left on the kitchen counter that was meant to be drunk as a toast to your mother.
What? What's wrong with a lot of you? Why didn't you stop her? I bet you've been standing by whilst all of these problems have been happening to get in the way of our family rituals, and you haven't been doing a thing about it, have you?
I'm so sorry, Dad. I'll go out and buy some more wine right away. Honey, please, clean your act up already. My dad is here. Why do you keep causing trouble every time we come to my parents' house for something like this? Oh, would you look at that? Philip, look over here. There's a talking squid over here. It's so funny. This squid is as tall as a person. I guess you must have left the squid out of the seafood pasta you made earlier, Prudence. Are you saying I look like a squid right now? Please just drink some water and sober up already. Oh, Philip! Help! The squid is trying to grab me with his slimy tentacles. Oh my goodness, this is so embarrassing. This girl does not know how to go on. Have you lost your mind? Will you stop that already? Let go of his shirt!
Oh goodness, let go of me already! If you pull that hard on my shirt, it's going to rip! What are you two doing just standing there gawking? Pull her off me already!
Please stop this already, honey. Come on now, Danielle. Please just come to your senses already. You're going to regret this in the morning. Hello there, Grandma Spirit. Can you hear me? I have something to tell you. Do you know what my biggest regret of my entire life is? It's marrying this squid right here. And who on earth has rituals to commemorate their ancestors 6 times a year? What kind of age are we living in? Do you think maybe they're time travelers from the Middle Ages?
Hey! Watch your mouth!
Honey, please calm down. She's drunk and she doesn't know what she's saying. That's right, Dad. I'll take her home right this instant and you won't have to deal with her anymore. So please, just calm down. I'll make sure she apologizes profusely to you both as soon as she sobers up.
I think we all know that you're not going to be able to get her to do anything she doesn't want to do, even when she does sober up. You've never been able to manage her. You're a failure of a husband. It's because of you and how soft and useless you are that your wife thinks she can get away with walking all over you and disrespecting our family. If anything like this ever happens again, I'm not going to be so good at keeping my calm. You have all been warned.
Wow, the old squid is all angry. Do you think that the ghosts of your ancestors are all floating little wispy squids as well? Honestly, this girl is going to be the death of me. Why on earth did you have to marry a girl like her? There are literally billions in the world, and you just had to go and choose that one. You should have married a nice, quiet, docile girl instead. We didn't need you to marry a career woman who excels at her job. It's evident that all she brings to this family is embarrassment and discomfort. Well, I thought she'd be good at doing the housework and stuff because she's really good at her job. If I had known that she was going to be this stubborn about everything, I never would have married her. Anyway, Mom, can you please help me do something about her? She's your wife, so she's your responsibility. I wash my hands of this fiasco. Mom, please. Mom! Wow! Who made the food this time? This is amazing! It seems to be different than the last few death anniversary celebrations. Are we celebrating the family's ultimate patriarch or something? I suppose other family members must have been helping out. This tastes way better than when you made it all by yourself, Prudence.
What are you doing? Honey, stop. What on earth do you think you're doing?
Oh, hi, Philip. Well, I didn't eat dinner today, you see. Prudence said I wasn't allowed to eat whilst she was cooking. I ended up getting so hungry that I guess I ended up eating the food that was meant to be left out to honor the ancestors or whatever.
Oh no, this is bad. This is very bad. Eli, what should we do about your father? He's going to take it out on us again, isn't he? I don't even want to go anywhere near him right now. I am terrified of him, Mom. Honey, please can you just stop eating? Have you lost your mind? Why would you eat that in front of everyone? I can't believe my bad luck to be cursed with such a terrible daughter-in-law. I'm so ashamed.
Oh, lighten up. I'm sure your ancestors will forgive you for this great insult. It's really not that deep. Surely they're not so stingy as to begrudge me a few bites.
Please just keep your mouth shut, for goodness sake. Oh, I'm feeling a little lightheaded. Mom, are you okay?
Oh, she's obviously just feeling a little out of sorts because she didn't get to eat any dinner. Here, Prudence, eat some of this. A few bites and she'll be right as rain.
That's it. I've had enough of this. Just divorce my son already and go back to your own family. Just get out of our lives already. Yes, she's right. I can't put up with your behavior anymore. My relationship with my dad just got worse since I got married to you, since he kept finding reasons to get mad at me, even though you were always the one causing a scene. Let's just get the whole thing over and done with quickly. Isn't divorce what you want anyway?
No. I don't have any intention of divorcing you.
What? What do you mean you have no intention of divorcing him? Don't you hate us all?
Yes, that's right. I do hate you all. But this food is so tasty. Maybe I should stick around to see if you make anything nicer next year?
Then what about giving us that grandson?
Of course I'm not going to be having any children anytime soon, especially ones with your genes. Besides, I don't know when exactly I am going to divorce your son, but I'm going to do it when I feel like it. And I'm going to keep going to work as well. This divorce is going to be entirely on my terms.
This is a living hell! I am begging you. I will get down on my knees if I have to. Just please divorce me, okay? Please don't make my family suffer any longer. If you had never come along, my family would never have started fighting this much.
The other relatives who were present at the last gathering were horrified by what happened and told my father-in-law as much. He was so angry and ashamed, and he let out all his anger on my mother-in-law and my husband. The oldest relatives ended up dying angry, and my in-laws keep saying that their vengeful spirits came to mess with my husband's family as a result. I haven't quite seen them suffer enough yet, so I'm going to hang on in there a little longer before I go ahead with the divorce.